Well, an awful lot has changed over this past year, but one thing that hasn't changed is Travelers' support for the Travelers. We are very pleased to announce that Travelers is extending our title sponsorship through 2030. Our rationale is pretty simple. Over the years, this tournament has delivered some amazing moments, from Jordan Spieth's incredible bunker shot to winning a playoff in 2017 to Jim Furyk's historic 58 to some memorable comeback wins by Bubba Watson. But it's what happens off the course that keeps us coming back. With all the net proceeds going to charity, the tournament has become an important platform for fundraising. Since Travelers became title sponsor in 2007, the tournament has raised more than $20 million for nearly 800 worthy organizations. And just the latest example of that is the community support that came out for the Hole in the Wall game camp after it was devastated by a fire last month. Within a week, the camp raised more than $3 million to support rebuilding, inspired by a $1 million matching gift from Travelers and the Travelers Championship. And beyond that, the tournament generates a lot of important economic activity that benefits the state and our communities. So we couldn't be more excited for this year's tournament. My partner, Andy Bissett, here at Travelers, and our world-class tournament director, Nathan Grube, and their teams have been working all year to make this tournament the best yet, which is a very high bar to clear. So I want to thank both of them. I also want to thank a few others who have contributed in really important ways to the tournament's success. PGA Commissioner Jay Monahan and the PGA Tour, who have been wonderful partners for us. The state of Connecticut and Governor Lamont for unwavering support. And of course, the fans, the volunteers, the sponsors, the media, and so many others who worked so hard to make the Travelers Championship one of the most anticipated events on the calendar. So, Chris, with that news, back to you.
I would say that is news, Alan. That's unbelievable. Out to 2030, we're going to call that a par 9. That's quite a long shot. And thank you for everything that Travelers continues to do. Next up, it's my pleasure to introduce the governor of the state of Connecticut, Mr. Ned Lamont. Governor, good afternoon.
Hey, Chris, nice to see you. And Alan and Chris, you nailed it. I mean, we do this press briefing. The spring is in the air here in Connecticut. We know the third week in June. It's finally summertime in New England. I love this event. Alan, what you and Travelers do, it's incredibly important for our state. First of all, the eyes of golf lovers all around the world are glued to the state of Connecticut for 4 amazing days. I love Travelers' generosity. I love what you did for the Hole in the Wall gang. They matched that donation. They're going to be back and going. Look, the first year I did this a couple of years ago, Andy Bissett gave me a little bit of advice. I said, Andy, I've been campaigning. I haven't done much golf. He said, just hit that first golf shot. Nobody really know. And he said, by the way, if you hit a short grounder to second, just still put your eyes up, look like Bryson DeChambeau as if you hit it over the center field bleachers. Nobody will know, and that's the right effect. And that was a good day for us here in Connecticut. But Jay Monahan, I want you to know last year when the Travelers came back was really important. Our state had been hit hard. We had no live sports, nothing really to cheer for right in the middle of COVID. And I remember you and I talked, we said, we're going to do this. We're going to do it right. Got together with Nathan and Alan, and we put together something that was before we had vaccines. But the Travelers is an amazing shot in the arm for the state of Connecticut, and I think golf lovers around the country last year. And it's going to be another shot in the arm going forward. I love this tournament. I hope to be there, and I hope to see many of you there. Back to you, Chris.
Governor, thanks so much for being with us, and your support speaks volumes. And if I may get off script for just a minute, as a longtime resident of the state, I, and speaking for millions, would like to thank you and your team for the job that you've done. Nobody signed up for the last 13 months, and we're not done with it yet. The COVID, everybody understands. And I got to say, I'm pretty proud to say I'm from Connecticut when I compare what you and our state have been able to do and are continuing to do compared to maybe some others. And I'll leave it there. So that's as a resident and speaking for many. Now, back to your points about the Travelers. I always say Connecticut is in the major leagues when the Travelers Championship comes every year, and that's what we have. And then people who can't spell Connecticut, let alone have never been here, can say, wow, that's really pretty. Look at that. That looks like a really good place. It's between New York and Boston, et cetera, but it's in neither. And there's so many pluses. Summer, fall, let's take a trip there. It goes way beyond even the golf. But with Travelers now, as this tournament has provided and will provide golf fans with thrills, and I mean golf fans in the U.S. and around the world. So we're going to take a look at some highlights in a minute. And after that, our good friend and the commissioner of the PGA Tour, Jay Monahan, will join us. Take a look. For the past 15 years, some of the biggest moments in golf have happened right here at the Travelers Championship. Unforgettable moments. Moments you can't stop watching. Some that started something big. Some that launched legendary seasons. But some of the most important moments at the Travelers Championship, those happen off the court. Moments that support the community, that help to build a better future. Moments that show why we really do this. There's a reason the Travelers Championship has been named the PGA Tour's Tournament of the Year. A reason the golfers chose it as Player's Choice. A reason the game's elite play here year after year. A reason why the biggest moments happen here. For all of those reasons, Travelers is proud to announce it's extending its sponsorship through 2030.
Thank you, Chris. You've been a great friend of the PGA Tour and a tremendous ambassador for the Travelers Championship over the years. And 2030, what exciting news. On behalf of the PGA Tour, I just want to say that we are absolutely thrilled to take part in today's announcement regarding our partnership and the fact that we're extended with Travelers in the Travelers Championship through 2030. A special thank you to Alan Schnitzer and Andy Bissett with Travelers and to Nathan Grube with the Travelers Championship. Your leadership, your support in making the Travelers one of the premier events on our calendar is inspiring to all of us, including all of our players. And, as this video demonstrates, and as you heard from Alan and the governor, this event has all the right ingredients. And it starts with a rich history going back to 1952 to a great, committed hometown title sponsor in Travelers. Having attended Trinity College myself, I'm very familiar with the incredible community support right here in Hartford that extends throughout the state of Connecticut. We have a wonderful facility in TPC River Highlands that attracts so many stars like our defending champion, Dustin Johnson, and a fan contingent that really is second to none in terms of both size and enthusiasm each and every year. And again, that video captures a lot of those great moments. And there's nothing like being in the bowl on 18 on Sunday. And as Alan noted, this mix really does translate into significant charitable impact each year. It bears repeating that the tragedy of the fires at the Hole in the Wall gang facilities will thankfully have an inspiring ending thanks to the great work of Travelers, the Travelers Championship, and the community that all rallied behind this incredible organization, this incredible camp. And to me, it's a snapshot of the heartbeat of this event that is so loved in the community. And as we continue to progress through the pandemic, I would tell you the Travelers' continued support was a reminder to me of what true partnership is all about. And I think people will remember this, but you go back to the economic downturn in 2009, the PGA Tour had a number of our title sponsor agreements that were coming up at the end of 2010. And Travelers was the first one to raise their hand and say, we want to extend with you and extend long-term. And in retrospect, that was a pivotal moment for the PGA Tour, for our organization, and obviously for this partnership. Governor Lamont, I want to thank you for the great support from the state of Connecticut over the years, and especially for your trust in our ability to contest last year's Travelers Championship in a safe and responsible manner. That's a week I will never forget. And as we look forward to this June, we really can't wait to pay it back by delivering another blockbuster edition of the Travelers Championship that you and the state of Connecticut will be very proud of. So thanks to everyone. We're proud of today's news. And Chris, I'm going to turn it back to you.
Commissioner, thank you very much. It's good to see you. And let me just aside again, wouldn't be me if I didn't. Obviously, when we contested the Travelers Championship last June, it was one of the first, the third one back. The PGA Tour itself was at the forefront of bringing back any sort of sports, any sort of aside, not the word amusement, but something other than staring at your four walls. And I know you felt like Lewis and Clark, Commissioner, you and your team forging forward, but not really sure, know what you were looking for, but weren't sure what the path would entail. And you guys forged forward with intelligence, with unbelievable commitment, and above all, with safety. So thank you, and thank you to the PGA Tour team. We won't forget it, and we welcome you back with open arms. And now we welcome with open arms a great friend, Andy Bissett, who, of course, is the Executive Vice President and Chief Administrative Officer, and he hates when I do this, but I'm doing it anyway. A member of the 1980 United States Olympic team. Andy, good afternoon.
Hi, Chris, and thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you being here today for this exciting announcement and for being such a great partner and friend over the last 15 years, Chris. You know what? You're so modest, but you've been so important to what we've accomplished here with the Travelers Championship. So thank you. Thank you very much. You know, our entire team works on the Travelers Championship, and the entire team has been phenomenal, but we can't do this alone. And I just have to say that I'm so grateful to everyone who helps make the Travelers Championship that's a success that it has become across the state of Connecticut and beyond. I mean, this includes all of our sponsors, our volunteers, our media, our players, their families. Governor Lamont, you've been terrific. You call me all the time. And how we doing? And so I give you updates. And state and local officials, the town of Cromwell and the Cromwell Police Department. The list could go on and on forever. But appreciation going out to everybody for what you do to support our efforts. Jay Monahan, you know, Commissioner, I can't thank you enough for your support and partnership and that of your entire team, including Brian Oliver, who does marketing, Andy Pastor, who runs all of the leagues for all the tournaments for you, Ross Berlin, I couldn't do it without him, right? And many of the others at the PGA Tour who help make this tournament what it is. And Jay, I'll probably embarrass you, but I have to tell you a short story. Back in 2007, actually maybe 2006, when we first took on the tournament, Jay invited me up to Boston to talk about being a part of a tournament. And at the time, he was running Deutsche Bank, which was a very successful playoff event in Boston. And so I went up and he coached me as to what to do and what not to do. And I was so appreciative, Jay, that you were willing to help this rookie guy, me, and Travelers try to be successful. And, you know, the one comment I would say about Commissioner Monahan is that he has a huge heart and a great passion for the success of everyone around the game of golf. Success for everyone around the game of golf. And so, Jay, I can't thank you enough for all you do with us. We couldn't do it without you in our partnership with the tour. You know, and we've all been working closely and we're all been closely aligned through the years. And everyone's been so dedicated to improving the tournament experience, which has been phenomenal. And it's from year to year, things change, right? And from building a new practice facility, which I always remember Vijay Singh made a comment to me when he got here, when we first opened it, and said, wow, this is world class. And I felt really good. It was world class. And then we kept updating the course and making changes with the tour and with the rules officials and others. And finally, we added the new clubhouse that opened just a couple of years ago. And all those improvements and getting to know the game's top players and their families has been so incredibly rewarding for all of us at Travelers. And at Travelers, Alan and Alan's leadership, there's not enough I could say, but his commitment and support are second to none. He's right in there every day, and we're talking about it as it gets closer. And I have to say that his trust in me and our entire team to get the job done has been really important and appreciated. So what Alan mentioned before, that we're extending our title sponsorship to 2030, because it's a part of the ethos of Travelers. Giving back is in our DNA. We're continuously looking for ways to improve communities where we live and work. And with all the net proceeds of the tournament going to charity, the Travelers Championship fits right into the charitable efforts by raising the awareness and generating over $20 million for nearly 800 profits since 2007. And funny aside, I still remember the cold April morning in 2007. And if any of you were there, I mean, that's when this all started. That's when we kicked this off. Actually, sorry, it was 2006. It was a year before 2007. It was really a special morning. Also, the tournament has the impact that it does with the enthusiasm of our agent and broker partners and the work of thousands of volunteers, thousands, which include many, many Travelers employees, like thousands. And so thank you to all of you for your support. I also want to just take a minute to recognize Dan Kleiman, who's our board chair for the Greater Hartford Community Foundation, for his role and the role he's played. His leadership has been instrumental in the success of the event over the years, so thank you, Dan. Last but certainly not least, a big thanks to Nathan Grube, Tara Gerber, Kevin Harrington, and their entire staff. The partnership we've enjoyed with you for the last 15 years has been phenomenal, unbelievable. But you all are more than partners. You're friends and family. You're friends and family, and you always will be. And that's what makes this all so different and successful. Your team is the best in golf. I mean, talk about world class, you define world class. And you've helped make the Travelers Championship an award-winning, popular destination for players, fans, caddies. I can't forget the caddies, because every time Nathan and I are out talking to the players, the caddies are coming up to us in a stream saying, "Hey, you guys do a great job. You treat us the best of anybody." And so thank you to Nathan and your entire team. And I couldn't stop with the recognition without mentioning the Wasserman Media Group. Wasserman has been a part of our team since 2007. And just a thank you to Andy Bilodeau, Carter Bills, and the team for your partnership and your hard work over all these years. We couldn't do it without you. And we take a lot of pride in the fact that the Travelers Championship has received Pga Tour Awards for most fan-friendly. That's really important. Tournament of the Year. That's really good. And Players' Choice Award. And the Players' Choice Award is voted on by only players. And to us, that just means the world. It's just a terrific recognition for us. So we love our fans. And as you all know, we always strive to make the tournament better. And I remember our first meeting in 2007, I said that we never accept the status quo. We will never accept the status quo. And our fans deserve that. And we'll stay focused on delivering the best experience for future generations to come. So we've been title sponsors since 2007. And think about this for a minute. This is really interesting. With this extension, the winner of the 2030 Travelers Championship may be someone who wasn't even born when we started. That's funny and it's scary in a different way. So with that, Chris, I'll turn it back over to you.
Well, let me think about that for a minute, Andy. Let's see. So 2030, 2007. So someone 23 or younger, I'm going to make book on this. Someone 23, 22, 21, maybe just getting out of college, that we've always had a great role of giving exemptions to, maybe won't even be a member of the tour yet. Okay, I like that. That's very interesting, and I'm glad you mentioned that April morning. Commissioner Fincham was there, and I got a call from Ted May, and what are you doing a couple of mornings from now? Can you be on the lawn of the Travelers? Why? What are we doing? Croquet? No, we're back in the golf business. So for someone like me, 48 hours from we're done to now we're extended to 2030, and we're going to have a champ 22 years old in 2030. That's amazing. And the guy that'll be right there at the 18th green to help present the trophy has been our tournament director for a long, long time, and we hope that long is about 5 more longs. Nathan Grube, good afternoon, Nathan. Good to see you.
Chris, thank you very much. Thank you for being here. To Andy's point, you're such a key part of what we're doing. I remember you put your very large hand and arm around me in 2007. We didn't know each other that well, and the Celebrity Pro-Am teed off, and you said, "Well, away we go." and I had no idea what that meant, where we were going, what was going to happen. But you were right. I mean, you look back in 06 and you look out to 2030 and what has happened already and what's going to happen. It's been a fun trip so far, but away we go indeed. Looking back at some of the comments some of the people have made, I mean, it's crazy to think that Travelers has been involved with this tournament since the beginning, since 52 in some form or capacity, more than 7 decades of being involved. And now title sponsor, they're looking out to be the longest running title sponsor in the tournament's history. And that doesn't happen. I mean, I think sometimes we as, the state of Connecticut, we take, I think, basketball national championships for granted, and then how long our title sponsors sign on. But I mean, you have a title sponsor who's here longer than any other title in the 70-year history, which is something pretty special to be in the middle of it, Chris, to your point, to be a part of it. Somebody said this earlier. They said this event has the ingredients for something special. And then Andy alluded to it. The team that it takes to put this together is phenomenal. I think the consistency in the vision of what this event was going to be, the consistency in the leadership. To Andy's point, the chair of our board, Dan Kleiman's been chair from the beginning. Andy and I have been partners in this for the last 15 plus years. Then you look at our tournament staff team, and there are 11 of us that live and breathe this every single day. And I shout out to the tournament team for what you do on a daily basis. Yeah, I mean, I know it wouldn't be what it is without you. You look at the consistency with Tara Gerber, she's been here 15 years. Kevin Harrington, he's been here 15 years. And when you get that type of consistency, you can build off of that. You're not relearning your mistakes. You're not reevaluating. I mean, to Andy's point, the status quo is never good, but it's just unacceptable. You could just keep building off of it though. So to have that type of leadership and senior leadership on the tournament team stay here for that long is something pretty special. It's one of the key ingredients. And Chris, you had alluded to this. You had said, the world is watching us, right? I mean, the world is saying, hey, what does Connecticut do with a PGA Tour event? What does it do? And I think based off last year, based off this extension, based off of what we're doing and where we're going, the message that it sends about what Connecticut does, Connecticut digs in, and Connecticut can create something really special. And then when you look at kind of that formula, right? I mean, you look at what Jim Calhoun did with UConn when he gets here in the 80s. You look what Gino and Chris Daly have done with UConn when they get here in the 80s. You have consistent teams that are digging in, and excellence is what they want to achieve. And we feel very, very proud to be a part of that. You look out the next decade. I mean, my goodness, you look at the economic impact for our state over the next decade. You look at the charitable impact. I have to say to Commissioner Monahan, I have to say thank you for what you're doing with the PGA Tour, how you're growing the tour, how you're growing what we are, right? We are a PGA Tour event, and you as the PGA Tour are crafting and growing what those events actually are. And we feel very privileged to be a part of that. I feel very privileged to be a part of a mission of the PGA Tour, so different than the NFL, NHL, Major League Baseball. We talk about why the tour is different. I mean, when you have a tour event in your community, you have an economic and a charitable impact unlike anything else. And you look at the other sports leagues, if you combine what they give to charity in a year, NFL, all the ones I just mentioned, if you combine what they give in a year, they give less than what the PGA Tour gives in a year. And when you let that sink in for a minute and you understand the impact of a tour event on your community, we understand it, we're proud of it. And I did just want to say thank you to Jay for what you're doing with the tour to make it such a big, impactful presence to be able to have a tour event in your community. So to Andy's point, we feel like we have a responsibility to make sure we're doing everything we can with this event right now, to make sure that, we honor the legacy of where we came from, to be able to someday hand it to somebody else better than how we found it. And we're very proud of what we're doing. We do 100% feel like the best is yet to come with this extension, and it's going to be pretty exciting. So I'm excited to be a part of it. And Chris, thank you very much. I'll kick it back to you.
Well, Nathan, and it's something that Andy and Alan and I think even the commissioner, we've all talked about. Yes, this is an unbelievable Connecticut event and always has been since the early 50s. This is more than just a Connecticut event. Yes, worldwide, it's the PGA stop. But think about where our fans come from for a moment. I think we overlook this. I know that, a lot of our efforts, charity-wise, go to Western Massachusetts. Fans flock in from Rhode Island, from Massachusetts. all over New England. I mean, Keegan Bradley from Vermont, they came to root him the time he almost won it, finished second. People drive from New York, Philadelphia, Albany area. My point is that until August, middle of August, we're the only PGA event on the large block of millions who follow and play golf or don't even have to play golf. And I think that to that, what Travelers has done is extend the circle by hundreds of miles, like a compass, like we used to use in math in the old days before they invented computers. So, and of course, everybody knows the history of our tournament. Billy Casper's won it the most. Somebody named Arnold Palmer's won it several times. Oh yeah, Sam Snead won our event in the 50s. Greg Norman and Nick Price and Lanny Watkins. When we first had this new course here in the 90s. Phil Mickelson a couple of times with Jordan Spieth. You saw it on the video. We didn't invent Bubba Watson, but we presented him to the world with his first win ever. And now look what he's done. And of course, Dustin Johnson, what he did. And I'm always proud to say that the first African-American golfer to ever win on the PGA Tour was Charlie Sifford in 1967 at our Greater Hartford Open. I'm always proud to say that we are that tournament. So again, thank you for Travelers. Unbelievable for extending to 2030. Your belief in the community in which you reside speaks for itself and always has. So thanks to everybody for joining us this afternoon. We're almost ready to play some golf. We've probably been out there slapping it a little bit. This concludes our remarks. We're going to have a video, so don't go away right away. But any media in attending a question and answer session with Nathan and Andy, you will see at the bottom of your screen how you hook up with that. But before we do that, a final message from your friends at Travelers and the tour, and see you on the links.
Congratulations, Travelers, on all you've accomplished and all you've done for us on the PGA Tour.
You continue to have an amazing charitable impact even now. Thank you for doing what you do.
You put it on an unbelievable event. I'm very honored and proud to be a part of it.
The people at Travelers make it a special event.
They treat you like family. They treat you like... For us, I feel like it's one of the best stops on tour. I think it's got the greatest fans on tour. It's one of the best attended events we have out there, by far one of the favorites for all the players.
I love the Travelers Championship, just being around those fans. They're very welcoming to me, and I just think they're some of the best fans in the world in all sports.
That atmosphere on 18, when you're walking up and you have a chance to win, it's a pretty good feeling.
My favorite memory of the Travelers is pretty easy for me. It's holding out on the 18th hole in a playoff out of the bunker with probably the coolest shot I've ever hit in my life and the best life.
Winning the Travelers Championship in 2014 and coming from behind and birdieing the last 7 to win. It'll always go down as a very special place in my heart.
Winning for the first time in 2010.
His first victory on tour, your champion here at the Travelers.
Knowing that my dad was about to pass away, the embrace I got from Connecticut, from Hartford, and the Travelers team.
The most rewarding part of the Travelers Championship is definitely the charitable impact that they create.
We know by going and playing in Connecticut, it makes a big difference to the surrounding area.
The hole-in-the-wall gang camp, being able to go there personally, see it, and listen to them dance at lunch and sing, that'll always be special in my heart.
Travelers, thank you for being a great part of the PGA Tour.
Thank you, Travelers.
Thank you, Travelers. It's an incredible tournament. It means a lot to us as players.
It truly is special, and thank you again for everything you've done.
Thank you, Travelers, for being an amazing partner for the PGA Tour.